What is up, everyone? It's me, Jrod, the filmmaker, former film major, frequent fighting gamer from Philadelphia, and we are back with another very special episode of First and Final. Yes, guys, we are back. If you guys don't know how this show works, I'm going to briefly explain. This video is a two-parter. The first part is going to be a reaction, my first reaction to a trailer for a movie or show or something of the sorts. And then the second part is going to be my final thoughts, a review of said movie or show once I have seen the entire thing in its entirety. Well, that's usually how entire things are in their entirety, but after I see the movie, then I will review it, and you know, it gives the audience an opportunity to compare my first thoughts with my final thoughts. Some things age well, some things don't age as well. Sometimes I'm really excited for something, and then when I see the movie, I'm no longer that excited, but that is all the fun in making this type of video. And also, I guess another fun thing is that it's a video I get to make across a really long time period. Like, I'm recording a reaction right now. The movie in question isn't going to come out for another couple of months. And then I got to write my review afterwards. So, but that is the premise. You guys now get how the show works. And you know what we're going to be reacting / reviewing to. Because you clicked on the video, saw the thumbnail and the title. Thor, Love and Thunder. The newest Thor movie. The fourth movie in Thor's whole catalog. Which I didn't realize it until just now when I said it out loud, but that's kind of huge because a lot of the main Avengers movies or the main Avengers solo films don't actually go that high up to 4. Like, Captain America got 3, Iron Man got 3. Yes, they got their cameos in other little stories, and then the Avengers story that brings it all together. But as far as the solo movie, this is the 4th Thor solo movie. I wouldn't be excited about this if it wasn't for Thor Ragnarok, because Thor 1 and 2, I saw them, but they were not memorable at all to me. I just, like, to this day, I don't remember what happened in Thor 1 and 2. I just know I saw them. But Thor Ragnarok was like, it was like lightning. It was like thunder and lightning being injected into the franchise. It was so cool looking. It was funny. It was just, like, brighter tonally and physically. It reminded you of just, like, those Jack Kirby, those really like the Eternals color schemes, and it was really sick for Thor Ragnarok. And the way that Taika Waititi directed it and then even starred in it as Korg, it just made it one of the best entries for it's definitely the best Thor movie. It's the best entry in that franchise, but it also made Thor have one of the best movies in the MCU overall, just because of how much of a great time Ragnarok was. So now we're going to get into Thor Love and Thunder. A lot has changed for Thor since Ragnarok. Loki is no longer with us. Maybe, you know, Loki dies a lot and comes back a lot. But let's just say Loki's not with Thor instead of saying he's not with us. The events of Avengers Endgame have happened. Infinity War and Endgame, so all the people we lost and then all the people we got back. Fat Thor, he was Fat Thor throughout that movie, so that is how he's going to start off this movie. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about what could be, because I actually have the trailer ready to go, and I got to react to it, and then I got to fast forward time and review the film. So let's just say I'm excited for Thor Love and Thunder. I didn't even get to talk about Natalie Portman coming in and being buff and hot. Let's get into it.
Kids, get to popcorn.
Korg.
Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson.
Space Viking,
He was no
is that what we're
ordinary
calling
man.
them now?
He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time,
This
Thor
looks so
set off on a
sick.
new journey.
Okay.
Well, he got in shape. He went from
There
dead
he
bod
is. Fat
to
Thor.
god bod.
Is that the
And
Milano he's
after all
pulling?
that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor.
Ooh.
Oh, spoke too soon.
Ooh.
Jane?
Is that him? Oh, he put his mask on?
The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been, like 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months and 6 days, give or take.
Hey, yo, this is insane.
Am I sensing feelings?
Tessa, we got Valkyrie back. I've missed
right.
her.
the only ones who gods care about.
Okay, is this the villain, our big
Is
bad?
themselves.
Ooh.
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
Yo, that is Christian Bale. He looks like himself, but looks completely different at the same time.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
It's just my first bad guy.
Oh my gosh, she's sick.
You never forget your first.
You
They fighting on the
like the
moon,
other
bro?
gods of kill.
And who's that?
Like
Like
something worth
Zeus?
fighting for.
Did Thor turn it black? Like, bro, so much is happening. They were fighting in like a black and white moon.
Let's see who you are. And take off your disguise. And flick.
Hey, yo.
You flick too hard, damn it!
That Russell Crowe.
Should we
Is he
help
playing
him?
Zeus?
And eventually, great.
Oh my goodness. Yo. July 8th. Yo. Did I don't think I prefaced this the way I meant to, but this is not my first time watching a Thor Love and Thunder trailer, despite the fact that I wanted it to be. When they dropped the first trailer, I was avoiding it. I was waiting. And then, stupid me, I went to go see Doctor Strange 2. And of course, they're going to play the Thor trailer before Doctor Strange 2. I don't know. It had been such a long time since I saw a Marvel movie in theaters that I was not thinking about it at all. But yeah, they kind of spoiled it a little bit. But I said I was going to wait until the next trailer came out so that I could give a real reaction. And that was it. And guys, Thor Love and Thunder looks so good. It has this just like, it looks just as light and fun and colorful as Ragnarok did, but it has this like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there's a levity to it. There's a fun nature to it. Like, I don't know. It looks like there's going to be this part of the movie just about Thor finding himself, traveling and going out into his world and mapping it and figuring out where he wants to be. And I think that is one of the things I'm most excited for, is we don't really get stories like that for Marvel superheroes, for superheroes in general, like just traveling your world, mapping it, charting it, finding your place in it, finding the people and your family within it. That seems like such a sick idea, and a great idea for Thor, and that Taika, decided to use to explore the character of Thor a little more. I am so excited to see Valkyrie again. I am so excited to see Natalie Portman as Jane again, and let's just say that this Jane is not going to be like the Janes that we're used to. She looks amazing as her own Thor. We got this like pantheon of gods themes where it looks like there's Valkyrie and there's Jane, but there's Zeus maybe, and there's gods from all different types. I'm wondering if that scene specifically will cross over with the scene in Moon Knight, where they had the Egyptian gods and they all had their like their avatars and they were inside that pyramid. Like, if we can see one character crossover or one idea crossover, I think that's an amazing opportunity, and it's also something I would love for them to revisit in future MCU movies. Like, I've seen a clip where someone said that Bast is one of the gods present in that little pantheon. It would be so amazing if that part and that location just reaches out and connects some dots, crosses over some ideas. But let's just say that I am excited for Thor Love and Thunder. I'm cautiously excited because with Doctor Strange 2, I still enjoyed the film, but what I thought I was going to get from the film when I watched the trailer and what I got in the end, they weren't the same thing. So although I enjoyed the film, I thought that they could have gone further and they could have done more. Despite that, I still am just super optimistic about Thor Love and Thunder. I think it is going to be a great experience. I think it's going to be a fun watch. And that is the thing. If this doesn't move forward the MCU at all, I won't mind it as much because it's going to be a fun movie and just a fun time. Doctor Strange 2, I enjoyed it, but I would not really classify it as fun. It's a lot darker, it's a lot heavier, and it's a lot more like high stakes, dire scenarios where I think this is just going to be a whole bunch of fun. Either way it shakes out, and I think that's just going to give me a positive review of the film overall, but I can't make that decision yet. I haven't seen the film. So what we're going to do is I am going to go inside. I have a time stasis chamber over here, and I'm going to go sleep. I'm going to go into cryo sleep. They're going to freeze me a little bit, sleep for about 2 more months, and then when I wake up, Thor Love and Thunder will be out. I'll go check it out, and then I'll come back and review the movie for you guys. So let's pass it over to me in the future, and let's see what he has to say about the final movie of Thor Love and Thunder. Alright guys, I'm back. Funny story, I called upon Mjolnir, and it actually came. It flew through here. I grabbed it really fast. We went backwards. We did that Superman thing where you fly around the world backwards and it reverses time. Except we went forward, sped up time, so that I could check out Thor Love and Thunder. And I have. I'm back. I actually just got back from seeing the movie about an hour ago. So this is going to be one of the freshest final thoughts ever of all time. Because I just saw it. And now I'm here to talk about it. And I have so many thoughts about this film, but before I get into the details and get into the nitty-gritty of the story, I'm going to start with the spoiler-free review, because I know some people appreciate, not being spoiled, but getting still enough review to determine whether or not they should go check out the film. So that's what we're going to start with, and I guess my too long getting read, if I could sum it up in one sentence, is yes, go see this movie. Go check out Thor Love and Thunder, because the film was really, really good. How good, you ask? This is probably my favorite Thor movie, and Thor Ragnarok was so good, so I didn't think that I was gonna come out saying that, but as of right now, I feel like this is my favorite Thor movie, and this is one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time. Right now, it's my favorite Marvel movie that I have seen since like Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. It was really, really, really good. It did everything I expected it to do, and then it did some things that I did not expect it to do. It really felt ripped right out of a comic book. Like, I don't know, like Taika just really understands this character, and he knows how to make this character lovable, convincing, vulnerable, strong, like everything that Thor embodies. I just feel like Taika knows how to get that performance and get that and direct that and command that and get like really, really, really good. I've said this before about Harley Quinn on HBO Max, which season 3 is coming up this month. I'm very excited for it. But I love Harley Quinn because I feel like it has a bunch of characters that we've seen time and time before, a bunch of Batman related characters that we know about, but the versions of the characters that are in Harley Quinn feel like the truest versions of these characters. The Batman feels like the truest Batman, the Robin feels like Robin, the Joker, like they all really step into that character, and they know their weaknesses as well as their strengths. They know how to really encompass that character in the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the totality of those characters. And I feel the same exact way about Thor in Thor Love and Thunder. This is the definitive version of Thor. This is the best version of Thor. The most easily relatable, the most convincing. This is the Thor you want to root for. This is the Thor you believe can come through and save the day every time. And yeah, it's just been such a journey that the character has grown so much since like his first couple appearances in his first couple movies, and because of that the character has grown on me so much that like back when we only had Thor 1 and 2, he was just another character. He was just like a big strong goofy guy, and now Thor is easily becoming just one of my favorite characters. The performance by Chris Hemsworth and the direction by Taika Waititi, when it comes together, bro, it makes space Viking magic. So that's really what this movie is. It's space Viking magic. I could go on forever, but it would be hard for me to do that without talking about any more details, any more spoilers. So we're gonna get into spoilers right now. So this is your official spoiler warning. You hear that? You hear those bells, those clap signs. That means the spoilers are coming. So yeah, let's get into it. Trying to figure out a way to verbalize like what was the feeling I got from the trailer when I was reacting to the trailer. And I think the closest thing I can say to describe it is Taika Waititi is bringing to life those epic stories that have been painted on the sides of vans for millennia. It just feels so like rock, pop, punk, electric, vibrant. It's still hard to describe, but the best I can say is that feeling of the side of a van, a painting on the side of a van, that those fantasy, colorful, bright and vibrant paintings. And even when they're dark and they're gritty and they're just spooky, creepy, ethereal, mystical, it had both of those sides in one movie, and it felt like a fantasy film, but it felt like a modern film at the same time. The beginning of the film is this short little Guardians of the Galaxy like short film, and it was so good, so funny. You know, we knew we were going to get Guardians of the Galaxy matched up with Thor and whatever their adventures were going to be together, but the way that they did it, it was so well done to where Thor just he learned to, you know, become himself again with the Guardians, but still he couldn't find that thing that he was longing for, so he had to continue to grow outside of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It made perfect sense, but I loved seeing all of those Guardians characters there in the story and interacting with him. It was hilarious. We got Teenage Groot, who was funny, and we got the core Guardians that we know of, but also mixed in like Nebula and Mantis, and of course Korg and Thor. And so it was like this huge expanded Guardians team. Then from there we go back to New Asgard from there. And I love what they did with New Asgard. It still has those things that, you know, you can only get from Asgard. It has that culture that is so unique to Asgard, but at the same time, it's been commercialized and Americanized, and, you know, it turned into an attraction basically, but at the same time, it still feels like, I don't know, I still really love the idea of New Asgard. It felt like home for the Asgardians, a home away from home, but it also at the same time just felt like another part of our big American society. So that was cool. We're gonna get more into Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, and that character, but one character I forgot we were gonna get in this one is Valkyrie. Oh my god, King Valkyrie in this was amazing. I absolutely love this character, bro. She's everything, bro. She is just like tough as nails, but at the same time just a great leader. Like she's my everything. Let's just say that about Valkyrie. For the Mighty Thor Jane Foster storyline was a little bit of what we've expected. You know, it was a little bit of the comic version of that story, a little bit newness, you know, a little bit reinvented and revigorated. And that's the perfect way to go, in my opinion, because then it feels familiar, and that familiarity really gets you invested into it. But then it's not too familiar. It still is able to do things differently, do things new, or even just do something that's been done before, but show it to you in a way you've never seen it before. And that's exactly how I would describe the Jane Foster portion of the story. But also there was the Gore the God Butcher part of the story, which I thought Gore was an amazing villain in multiple ways. Like his motivation I thought was really good, really smart. That first scene where he showed himself, it instantly had me like, I get why he's doing what he's doing, and I can't even say that he's wrong. To him, he is a hero. He's doing what he had to do. You know, every villain is their own hero, and I really felt that for Gore. And then when he got his powers and was fighting Thor with his ability to go into the shadows and the Necro Sword, oh my goodness, those fight scenes were so sick. Like, I didn't think we could still get fight scenes with characters that are like these big, godly characters, almighty, all-powerful characters, and still make it look really good, really convincing, and yet we did. And so yeah, Gore was amazing in multiple ways. The moral of the story was really beautiful, and in the end, I was just like, I didn't think that this is where we're going, but I'm glad that we went there. And so, yeah, obviously, Natalie Portman did an amazing job in this, and I'm actually really glad that she got her own storyline. She got her own chance, because I feel like a lot of these heroes have their love interest, and their love interest starts to be like this reoccurring role. Like, I can't really tell the difference between Iron Man's love interest and Captain America's love interest and Doctor Strange's love interest and Hulk's and Thor's love interest, because they all play a similar part. But in this film, Jane Foster was really, she was given her own part. She was given her own story that made her unique, that, you know, gave her her own unique interaction with the character. It set their relationship apart to where, like, yeah, the Thor Jane relationship was always cool, but I didn't realize how important it was until this film, because through that relationship, Thor admits that while he was teaching her about Asgard and the things of his world, she was teaching him how to be more human. And that goes back to that arc that I was talking about of Thor just becoming more human, more relatable, more, like, being more human for Thor. It just seems like such a good idea. Like, it's good in multiple senses, where it just makes him more funny, more relatable. It makes you root for him more. It makes him dig deep. Like, you would think that a character like this just wants to get more powerful and become stronger and get these new abilities. But I think in this film, it's really just him figuring out that, like, thunder can only take you so far. I think that the moral of Ragnarok was that the thunder is in his blood. The god of thunder is who he will always be. But the moral of this story was thunder will only take you so far, and you're going to need something like love to take you the rest of the way. I loved every single location in this film. Like I said, New Asgard was such a cool place, and I liked how they built it up as this amusement park of sorts. Then we went to, I forgot, the Omni City. I think it was Omni City. I'll correct it if I'm wrong. But Omni City was also so cool, and all the gods and the different pantheons coming together in this one place. It was beautiful to look at. It was such like this mind expanding concept, and I'm glad that they finally did it. So now things like that are just canon and standard in the MCU, so we can just continue to build on top of it. Then we went to the Shadow. Oh my goodness, the Shadow Realm, the Shadow Planet. What was it called? I think it was the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm was so sick because it desaturated everything and it took the colors out of stuff. But when you had like either Stormbreaker or Mjolnir or Zeus's lightning bolt, it would, the lightning and the light from those objects would light the character and start to resaturate parts of their outfit. So like the thunder itself would give back colors, but only in certain spots. Bruh. And then another incredibly sick fight scene. Guys, I almost forgot about this one part, but the part where Thor gives the children the power of thunder temporarily, that part was so sick. And I was literally like, that was the part that just had me in awe, just had me speechless. And I didn't think that something like that could be so awesome. And it was so awesome. Like, this was something that I want. This movie was like the Superman movie that I always wanted. It was the Zeus and Hercules movie that I always wanted. When he gave those kids the powers, it was the Shazam movie that I always wanted. And that is what I just love about this film, is that it felt like what I always wanted. I couldn't have said before this, I didn't know exactly what I wanted from a Thor film, but everything that I wanted, I felt like it gave it to me. Like, just seeing Thor fight with a giant lightning bolt as his weapon, that is such a sick idea. It seems like something that would have been so easy to come up with, because you could just rip it straight from a comic page. And yet the execution of it, the way it was done, and the fact that we got to see it when it was chef's kiss. Taika did an amazing job with this film. I could talk here for hours about how much I like this film, but I want to keep it about the important parts of the film. I loved everything about it. Location, performances, the plot. I know I love the plot. The characters, whether they were the main characters or the background characters. We got characters like Meek. Meek came back and is a part of New Asgard Society. Heimdall's son is such a sick character. Axel, he was so awesome in this movie, and I didn't even know we were going to get any of that. And then, since this is the spoiler version, Thor's new daughter? Oh my god. I didn't expect that. Like, I was really going back to how Thor's arc has been going so far. He's come such a long way, and even just in this film, I was thinking of how can you take him that extra step? How can Thor continue to go even farther than he already has? And making him a father at the end of this film, you got me. I think that was probably the perfect way to do it. Final point I'll make, because like I said, I could be here talking all day, is that I feel like this movie improved on all the things that just had me a bit thrown off from Doctor Strange 2. It really, and it's not even like these were two tonally different films where Doctor Strange 2 dug deep into the horror, mystical, mystery side of things. This was so bright and funny and hilarious all the way through, but it still had its dark side. It still had its heartfelt, beautiful moments, and it was very much about love as much as it was about thunder. But there were some ways that Love and Thunder zigged when Multiverse of Madness zagged. I like that Thor did not solve this problem by being this big, powerful, thundery god. He solved his problems through love, and that's why this movie is called Love and Thunder, because love made Thor the person he is today. That the love that he got from Jane Foster is what sets him apart from the other gods that have gone before him, the other gods in the pantheon. And that love is what he used to appeal to Gore the God Butcher in the end. And it coming full circle, it made so much sense. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I say I love this movie from beginning to end, because it just worked. Everything was just so, like, I felt like Taika was always one step ahead of me, but at the same time, I just felt like, yeah, I would have done that same thing. And yes, I love that he did this because it does this. And so it always felt like he was a step ahead of me, but at the same time, I felt like this movie was made in a way that I loved. And you can't always say that, because it's hard to get a movie to do exactly what you want it to do when you're just a viewer, you're just the audience member. But everything I expected of this movie, it delivered. It delivered even more than I expected of it. And so for that reason, I am absolutely just in love with Thor 4 Love and Thunder. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode of First and Final. You saw my first reaction to Thor Love and Thunder. You heard my final thoughts on Thor Love and Thunder. So now you have the full picture of how I feel about this movie. And if I had to recommend it, I definitely would over and over again. If you like Thor movies, you'll love this one because it's probably the best one ever made. If you like Marvel movies, you'll like this one because it's one of the best ones ever made. So guys, go ahead and check out Thor Love and Thunder. Oh, also one thing too that happened between my first reaction and my final thoughts is Ms. Marvel came out. And yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying Ms. Marvel. I thought that yesterday's episode of Ms. Marvel and Thor Love and Thunder were gonna have some sort of interconnectedness, and it didn't really. So I'm not gonna say anything else about Ms. Marvel because they weren't as connected as I expected them to. But I love Ms. Marvel and I love Thor Love and Thunder, so I'm really excited about what Marvel has going forward for this new phase. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode of First and Final. If you've seen Thor Love and Thunder, tell me down in the comments how you feel about the movie. If you have yet to go see it, what are you waiting for? You just let me spoil the whole thing. Go out and check out the film. Come back and tell me how you felt about it. Tell me some other movies you want to see me do a first and final reaction for. Tell me if you feel me. hit me with the 3-hit combo, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys next time in another new video.
Enough to mess with me.
You heard it. Are you stupid? Are you stupid enough to mess with me?
Nah, it's not funny. Nah, I'm not laughing.